These details are still coming through to us, but we know that the Israeli Defence Forces had issued a series of evacuation orders a couple of hours or so, focusing on around a dozen buildings in Beirut's southern suburbs, telling people there to get out as they claimed that these buildings were nearby to Hezbollah assets, things like command centres, weapons stockpiles and indeed places where Hezbollah have been operating there. So these attacks follow a theme that we have seen from the IDF over the course of a couple of months now, targeting these Hezbollah targets and facilities across Lebanon, but when looking at Beirut, the capital, really honing in on those southern suburbs, which have traditionally been seen as where Hezbollah's stronghold is. We do understand that because these bombing campaigns have happened over the course of a number of months, many people have already left Beirut's southern suburbs, so the issuing of these evacuation orders may not have necessarily affected the same number of people as they otherwise would have normally, but people were being told through the IDF's Arabic spokesman to get out of that area before those strikes. And we have seen a couple of strikes happen in the last couple of hours or so. We are, of course, as I mentioned, still trying to get a sense of exactly what has been hit, the scale of the damage, but those details are likely to come through in the next couple of hours once it is safe enough for police, for emergency services and indeed for the media to get into those areas which have been hit in these latest strikes.
And Matt, what's the latest on the prospect of ceasefire talks between Israel and Hezbollah?
Well, yesterday we heard from Israel's new foreign minister saying that certain progress had been made to come up with some sort of deal between Israel and the militant group, although that appeared to be news to Hezbollah. Its spokesman saying that no firm proposal had been put on the table at any stage in the last couple of days or so. We've since heard from the Israeli defence minister saying that Israel will not agree to any ceasefire deal unless certain conditions are met, and that is mainly to establish a buffer zone between Hezbollah and the Israeli northern border. It wants to see, Israel, it says, it wants to see Hezbollah flushed out of southern Lebanon north of the Litani River. This is a geographic point that we will hear a lot in the course of these ceasefire discussions in the next couple of weeks or so. Israel wants to ensure that there are no Hezbollah militants operating south of the Litani River, between that river and Israel's northern border, to ensure the safety of its citizens in Israel's north. That is something that continually gets raised in these negotiations, and indeed when we're talking about previous UN resolutions, the Litani River has been the demarcation zone for the changes there as well. We don't actually know whether or not Hezbollah would be willing to agree to those sort of terms, so for the time being it appears that these negotiation talks may well have stalled once more.
Matthew Doran in Jerusalem, thank you.